Hey everybody, how's it going? Today, let's take a look around. Let's take a look around inside the studio, and if we have time, let's take a look around outside the studio too. Last time I showed off the studio on the channel, that was back in July or so, and the only thing in this room at that point was pretty much the desk and me. So at this point, I've got all my stuff in here, and I thought it might be fun to at least just kind of show where it's at right now. And after a slew of technical issues, this is actually my third attempt at trying to record this. And I'm out of practice. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, and it's been long enough to, since I fired up lights and cameras and microphones and sound tested and all this stuff, and there's always one or two little things to forget. So in my first couple of attempts here, I had some things that I wanted to say in an intro, but at this point, I've forgotten, and it doesn't even really matter. So let's just take a quick walk around the studio. What do you say? Okay, so fair warning, the place is a mess, but it's just gonna be a mess. But here, let's just take a quick scan around for what all I can get in frame at least. And you know what? For purposes of this video, I think I'm gonna go turn the lights on full blast. All right, maybe that'll help a little bit. So I don't think I'm gonna go around item by item because for the most part, it's largely all the same stuff that's been in my last, few studios. There's a couple of new things here and there, so maybe we'll just take a look at a couple of new things. But same rack stuff, same interface, same keyboard and drum machine, same other rack stuff over here, same desk, same speakers and monitor, computer. This little thing is new. I actually shot a video about this and I got to editing it. And I just realized, man, this is boring. I don't really have just a lot of technical expertise in wireless, but this is a Shure SLX-D, and it's the 4D. And then this is the Sound Devices MixPre 6. So this is my wireless that I use for all my videos, and then this is the recorder that I record the audio for all my videos in. And I've had kind of a hankering lately to do a little bit of recording like outside or maybe at a friend's house. And so I bought this portable 2-space rack case, and it comes with a little shoulder strap, hard sides, soft front, not something I would ever check into like airline luggage or anything like that, but for throwing over my shoulder, going outside, I think that's going to work pretty well. Let's see, the Telecaster. I do not remember if I ever showed this thing again after I got it painted, and in the the light in here is kind of yellowish, but we ended up going with Olympic white and with that kind of off-white pickguard. And yeah, it really kind of illustrates how off-white Olympic white really is. But I think it turned out great. I think it looks great. It's a lot of fun to play. Let's see, I ended up co-opting a shelf from elsewhere to put all my pedals on. And so being able to have those handy and the boxes handy so they don't get quite as dusty. And I don't know, I gave up trying to use a pedal board a long time ago because I'm constantly switching stuff in and out. So I just have them in a big tangled mess here. There's cables everywhere. I think a little bit of cable management wouldn't be such a bad thing for me. But one thing worth mentioning is this fella right here. This was a generous gift from a buddy, and Lieutenant Bob, if you're out there, thanks again. I love this thing. This was the BK Butler designed reel tube. And I have a BK Butler tube driver that I bought direct from Butler. And I am surprised at how different the two are. I'll have to go get that thing out here sometime soon and play them side by side and remind myself of kind of how much they are different. But you can see this guy I've got cranked up. I've got the drive at 3 o'clock and the mids at 3 o'clock with the highs dialed down, the lows boosted a little bit. And it's just this big, thick, aggressive, hard rock kind of sound. I love it. Let's see, same amps. The Marshall, the 68 Custom, and the Lone Star Special. This guy is new, though. This is a new fella. This is an Ampeg Portaflex PF50T. It's a 50-watt tube bass head. and that's paired with the, I believe it's PF115HE, but it's a 15-inch speaker cabinet with the horn. And you can dial the horn in and out or whatever. I'm still getting to know it, and I'm still getting to know miking it. Right now I've got a Sennheiser MB441 on there, and that's been doing a great job. Been trying to learn again how to mix it and mix low end, and I'm so out of practice and in a new room and learning the room and everything. But yeah, that's been a lot of fun. I think that sounds amazing. It's exactly what I expect a bass guitar to sound like in a mix. It's fantastic. Loving it so far. And let's see here, over in Drumland. Oh yeah, I do have a couple of new things. Another couple of generous gifts from another buddy here in town. He just hasn't been playing drums for a while, so he had some cymbals and a snare drum that were just kind of sitting around, so he offered them over to me. And so there's a Sabian, this is the SX series, and it's a China. It's a lot of fun. I've never had a China before, so it's a fun little kind of accent cymbal. And the snare drum over here, and it's a little dark so you can't really see any detail, but this is a Pearl, and it's the Morgan Rose signature. It's got the little alien graphic on it. Might be able to see that maybe. And definitely well loved, well used. I need to put a new head on it, but man, that thing it's loud, it pops, and you know, it's just a good, well, loud metal snare sound. I like it. I like it more than I thought I was going to like it, and I would say it competes pretty well against the Ludwig, and that's an acrylite over there that I've been using for years. Right now in Drumland, I'm using a 10 and 12 rack tom and then a 14 and 16 floor tom. I am still trying to learn how to tune toms in a way that is pleasing to the ears and pleasing to the microphones. I'm a little frustrated, but yeah, I'll keep at it. I'm sure that I'll land on something I like. You can see I'm experimenting with gaff tape and things like that. I feel like I shouldn't need to do that if I get them tuned well, but I just haven't gotten there yet. It is nice to be able to have all of my preamps right here. So this is that RME 12 mic, and I've still got that plugged in via a fiber optic cable to the main interface, which is racked up over in the rack over there. And so from here, I can adjust all my gains, I can enable, disable phantom power, all that stuff, just within reach of the kit. And usually on this little projector stand, man, this stand, it's like Amazon Basics, but this thing this has been awesome. It's heavy duty, but I usually have a little laptop sitting right here. And with the laptop, I can remote into my main computer over there and operate that computer from here as if I was sitting in front of it. So I can pull up Total Mix, and I can pull up Reaper, and I can, have transport controls, but I can also add and delete tracks and add effects and all that stuff from here. All right, let's see, what else? Anything else new? As far in guitar land over here, actually there is a new fella, and let's take a look at him. And this is a Gibson Les Paul, and this is one of the Slash signature models. Like on the back, it's got the little Slash doodle, and it's got kind of a little bit more beefy, maybe not quite 50s style neck, but definitely beefier than my Les Paul Classic, which has that 60s slim taper neck on it. It's in that beautiful Anaconda burst, just that green flamed burst. And the pickups are like custom wound, they're Alnico 2s, but they're custom wound for this series of guitar, and I love them. They're high output, but not crazy high output. But I feel like they sound exactly like a modern Les Paul should sound. It's something that I've been kind of lacking with my other Les Paul. So my other Les Paul was the Classic from, there's another Les Paul now that they call a Classic that's a different thing. But this was the Classic from, I think the 90s through the mid-2000s when they discontinued them. And so it's modeled after the 1960s. It's kind of a reissue of sorts. But they came with these like insanely hot pickups installed stock. It was the 500T and the 498R, and those are just notorious pickups in Gibson's lineup, just obscenely, absurdly hot, and I just never thought they sounded all that good. So I swapped them out for, I believe these are Burstbucker Pro 2s, and again, I never loved them. I think they're fine, but I never loved them. So now having the other Les Paul that is kind of a super modern, heavier rock and roll machine, I was thinking about maybe putting 57 Classics or something comparable in here, and then have kind of a vintage style Les Paul to go along with the modern style Les Paul. And I've got a few more of my guitars still over in the storage side of the basement that they haven't found a home here yet. Oh, let's see, what else? Found a whole bunch of old CDs I'm going through. And, oh, the desk position. So last time you saw the place, I was trying to figure out where the desk was going to go. And if you'll ignore the cable mess and lack of cable management, you'll kind of see, I ended up a few feet away from the wall. And this turned out to be a bit of a compromise because as I got to listening and testing the listening location, listening position, it was going like kind of the best sound was like way out here. And that was just going to chew up so much floor space and not leave me nearly as much space as I wanted here in the middle of the room to play guitar and dance around like I'm a rock star and have lights and cameras and stuff for shooting videos and prop up a table for doing guitar repairs and upkeep and everything. So I kind of compromised and ended up closer to the wall than my ideal listening position, but far enough away that it balances out the bass quite a bit. And this is still the best sounding room I've ever been in. I'm just still getting to know it, still getting to learn it. So I've only done a couple of kind of basic mixes. I haven't even done anything with the vocals in here, but for the most part, the big challenge is low end. So trying to learn that big thumpy bass cabinet sound and kick drum and trying to learn that here in the new room. That's keeping me busy. And let me think, is there anything else worth sharing in here? I think that's just about it. Most of it's just a lot of cable clutter and other clutter because I haven't really landed on a final idea for what kind of storage to use. And who knows, maybe I can scoot the desk out a little bit more and put some bookshelves back here for storage. Get some of this clutter out of here. Who knows? All right, yeah, I can't think of anything else exciting other than just the room itself. I've got I have all of my acoustic treatment up, and I still have a little bit of work to do. There's still some flutter echo. I think I'm happy with the reverberation time in the room. I don't think it needs to be any more dead per se. So I have a feeling the future of any further treatment is mainly going to be diffusion, and I have no diffusers or anything, so I'll either build or buy. I'll probably build some diffusion and kind of see how that goes, and especially up high, there's just nothing. It's all just blank wall up high, and I think that's where a lot of the flutter is coming from. And there's a couple of big blank sections of wall as well. But yeah, I wouldn't mind trying some diffusion and just see if that helps make the reverberation a little more pleasant. And you can tell from this shot, so these were sized for my first studio in Kansas City. And that was, that's been 10 years ago now. Doesn't seem like it. But those were floor to ceiling with just a little bit of space, maybe a ½ inch left of a gap left. And you can see how much taller this room is than what those were originally sized for. So I'll probably build something to make up that difference, get them floor to ceiling. And then likewise in the back over here, those in the back corners are the 6 foot tall acoustic screens. So they're like gobos. Bring them out into the room and kind of spot treat. So I just keep them in the corner mainly just to get them out of the way. But they do a little bit of trapping back there. Okay, well, I can't really think of anything else to that's new and exciting enough to show you or anything. But since I have the ability to have a bit of a remote audio setup, what do you say we go outside and take a quick look around? Let's go take a look. All right, so let's just go, now that I'm a little bit more mobile with wireless. Oh, and hey, look at that, neighbor dog's coming over. Hi, puppies. They're probably wondering where my dog is. Oh boy. Yes, I know, we're very excited, aren't we? All right. I don't want to have any privacy concerns with have these dogs sign a release or something. Oh boy, here comes Bruno. Bruno's very excited to see the dogs. Just a couple of moments here of dog adoration, okay? Let's get back to what we came out here for. All right. Well, hopefully there's not too much wind noise and clothes rustling and everything. I'm missing lost some of my accessories for my microphone in the move, and I haven't found them yet. So I don't have a windscreen or any such thing, but here we are in the backyard. You can see struggling to get grass to grow, but this was kind of a low priority back here in the backyard. But let's head back here. So these are the woods behind our house. We've got about an acre of woods back here. And it wasn't until about the last month or so that I got up the courage to come back here. Let me stop and listen. I don't want to surprise a critter, and I don't want a critter to surprise me either. But I've been able to kind of clear a little path here through this part of it. I'm gonna sit my wireless down right here. But yeah, you know, I've been able to come back here and do a little bit of clearing. And of course, right after I started getting stuff cleared, this tree decided to fall down. So now I gotta figure out how to deal with that. And the tree that it fell on is a honey locust. And for any of you that have never seen a honey locust, they grow these just aggressive spikes all over them. And so I'm sure when that thing fell, there's probably a bunch of those things scattered on the forest floor here. I've already had one go through my shoe before, and that was not very fun. But we've got, yeah, like a little under an acre of woods back here. And I'm just starting to get to know it a little bit and kind of get to know where our property boundaries are back here. Actually, there is kind of a cool view from here. All right, yeah, I just think this is kind of a cool view. This is kind of a mixture of deadfall and live roots, where the soil is just washed away. But our property, and assuming I'm not a little disoriented, our property goes for a couple of 100 feet in this direction. And I'm assuming that I'm not a little turned around because I lose all points of reference when I'm back here. But I need to learn exactly where our property is. Because as I get the frolicking around out here and taking care of invasives like this is a form of honeysuckle. It's native to China, I believe, and we call it exotic bush honeysuckle. And in North America, it is highly invasive. And this is most of what the forest floor cover is back here. And it's already, it's so prevalent that it's crowding out a lot of the native stuff. And so there's not a whole lot of young native plants back here, trees and shrubs and everything. Just about anything back here that's young is this junk. And so I'm on kind of a lifelong mission to pull this stuff or kill it, or I would say cut it. But if you cut it, it just comes back just as bad as it ever was. So I found this thing in the trees. And any of you farmer types know what the heck this thing is? We've asked a couple of the old timers around here, and their best guess was it was maybe a deer feeder or a cattle feeder. But that was kind of a fun find, just buried in the trees. But let's go this way. This was the other direction that I cleared. At least did some clearing. But coming back here and doing some work on this and clearing out some of the junk and pulling the undesirable foliage and letting the native stuff do its thing, it's just been therapeutic and very rewarding. And now that the season has kind of come to an end, I won't be spending as much time out here. I'll be spending more time in the studio, but I just wanted to come and show this to you and kind of share it with you. And this is just kind of my fun little slice of land and a nice peaceful little place to come and do some hard work that's very satisfying, very rewarding. All right, I think I've probably jabbered on long enough for this time. I really appreciate y'all having a look and a listen with me, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to getting back to making some videos and maybe actually doing something other than talking about the studio and actually using the studio instead. But thank you all for hanging with me. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. And I think that'll do it for me this time. And I'll see you guys again next time.